Hiya. How is everyone? Everybody, how are we doing? Just a little stroll over to my spot. Get out in some nature. And I'm going to take a detour then. I'm going to go this way actually. And yeah, ready to let a few things off. Alright. What was it? City. Yeah.
Take it. I said, he can't take a penalty. He'll go right over the top.
Yeah.
You all told me to shut up, where did it go?
Right over the top. What score was it?
Still 0-0.
Oh, is it still playing now?
First half.
All right. You're City, aren't you?
I'm a red there also.
Oh, are you? Oh, yes. Right. See you later, mate. Just have a little chat there with the neighbours, connecting. Right. Back to the important stuff. So, look at the colours changing the leaves. Nature going through the process of the truth, which is constant change. And that's what I want to speak about today, was trusting ourselves, trusting the truth within, because that's where the truth is, in here. You know, all the rest of it is just an illusion. The infinite is the soul. And these days, people have put too much emphasis on things outside of us, you know, in books, you know, they always quote, well, this person said this in this book, or this person said this, or even I've said this in this video. But what do you know? What about your truth? What about your knowing? What about your infinite bank of wisdom? What we all have, you know? And being confident and being strong enough and having as much courage to stand in your truth, yeah, and going within. Okay, so these days, you know, people they've got used to this human form and this human life, that they think we're just human, having a human experience. So we're not human doings, are we? We're not human doings, we're human beings, being from within, intent. Okay, so first of all, I'll talk about intent and the power of intent. Now, you could have, I was talking about it then, so let's just say a footballer. A footballer wants to avoid tax, so they have in a year, say, £3 million that they're like, right, I need to, you know, got a big tax bill coming up, I need to just give 3 million away, and you know, I'll give it to, what looks good for me, I'll just give it to, you know, some charity, you know, some charity I like, I don't know, animals or whatever they like. They're like, yeah, that looked good for me, I'll throw that in there. Okay, but their intent is empty. Yeah, so that is a human doing. That is not a being. That is just a doing and just output. Yep, throw it over there and detach. That's cleared this side for my tax or whatever. Okay, but when you're being from intention, you could get someone who puts £3, who takes this £3 into a charity. Okay, and they were like, yeah, I want to do some voluntary work here as well. I'd like to, you know, what else do you need help with? So they're coming and they're being from love, because they are really wanting to help them animals or them children, or, you know, they are going to give some of their energy as well, because they want to make a change so much. Okay, so that is the power of intent. what is your intention? Okay, and you know, I'm gonna just park up here. And for example, what I used to do, which I've stopped doing now, is taking credit for things. Okay, because when you awaken and you know this plan, yeah, you don't take credit for anything. This is work every single day. Yeah, and you just give thanks to God. Any of these messages that come through, I am just channeling through from source. I'm bringing them out of me. I don't want any credit for them, or I don't care how many people like them, or anything like that. I'm just putting them on there, and if people want to research and see them, then it is there. And as long as it's raising consciousness, that's all I'm bothered about. You know, if people do want to interact and, you know, hit the like or the love button or want to share these things, okay, think it can benefit, then great. But my intention is not to build a big audience. My intention is to put my truth out there and let this spread, and let this sacred knowledge help as many people as possible, okay? Sticks in the way. Kneeling on sticks. Got my trainers on today because it's a bit wet, so I've not put my foot. Oh, in fact, nah, we're having it. We're having it. So where was up to then? Got odd socks on as well. I don't give a monkeys. So I've got him where I was up to now. Intention, power of intention. Yeah, taking credit. Just like taking credit for things. It's like, it's work, man. I'm doing work now. This is warriors of peace, warriors of love, warriors of this plan, you know, doing as much work as we can as possible and spreading as much awareness and raising consciousness, you know, as much as we can, you know, but not forcing it, just like offering. Have you ever looked at it this way? And, you know, just putting a few things across, you know, not trying to ram anything down people's throat, because everyone's got free will and everyone has got the choice, whatever they want to do, okay? So going back to trusting, okay? Now, instead of placing our trust in, you know, oh, well, if it doesn't say in that book, or it doesn't say here, or have you got your facts, or can you go on Google, or did it? So go back to the start of creation, yeah? When, you know, it was like cavemen rubbing sticks together trying to make fires. There was no phones like this, there was no internet. So everything what we spoke about and, you know, everything what was said was just right there and then, living in the now, yeah? And that's why back in the day, or then, you know, there was no stress or anxiety. But there wasn't much stress or anxiety, there was hardly any at all. You know, it might have been a little bit of stress when I was hunter-gathering and was trying to get the next meal, or, you know, but now people want to stress about have they got enough likes on Facebook, or, you know, does the filter look right on this, or this person hasn't responded to me, or, you know, no one likes me, or, you know, I'm not getting enough attention, or just, and there's people that haven't even got enough food to eat, or they've got nowhere to stay. And it's like, when you start putting this word into perspective, you actually realise how rich you are. You realise I create happiness, yeah? And going inside and bringing this love out is where happiness and you create everything from. So going back to the start of creation, so the start of creation, there was just, you know, you had to trust yourself, you had to go with your internal wisdom, okay? And then as creation has unfolded and things have come in, you know, so we've started to put programs and, you know, you have to do this, you have to do that. You use these calendars, these, you know, there's such things as times. We've put labels and places, you know, which are meaningful because that gives life meaning. That lets us communicate. If I didn't have a name and someone was shouting, you gotta shout Jake, so I'm like, what? Or someone says, look at this stick, you know what I mean, you know what I'm talking about. So, but people have got so attached to these labels right? They're not going with the internal knowing, unless it says it on Google or somewhere like that. What about what you think? What about what's in here? Okay, so, you know, if there was no such thing as calendars and days of the week and things like that, someone said to you, how old are you? And if there was no such thing as calendars and time, you couldn't say how old someone was. You're just a person. You're just taking about this value. So when someone says, how old am I? I'm just like, I'm not sure. The sun's gone up and down a couple of thousand times, but I don't really know. I'm just energy here expressing myself as a human being. Okay? So I do little things like this. So say I'm, you know, in a supermarket or I'm going somewhere, for example, and, you know, I need to find something in Tesco's. Like, these are just little games that I just play with myself because they're just like buzzing. You just buzz, play little daft games with yourself, don't you? But I've got cramp in my toe. But in truth, you're actually training every time you're doing these things, because when we was younger, you know, and we was like mum, dad, teacher, what's this, what's that, don't get me wrong, it's good to ask questions, get your knowledge, but the strength is inside of you. So say, come back to so when I'm in Tesco's, yeah, and you know, I'm trying to look for something in the store, I will just let myself guide me to that. Where is it? I'll just search for it, okay, or wherever I am, you know, or if I'm going somewhere and I need to find it, you know, if I'm on a little walk, I'm on an adventure, I'm trying to look for something, like, I won't get me sat, if I'm going far away, obviously, well, but I won't get me sat there about. I'll just be like, right, I'm just going to let my heart and my gut and everything just guide me, okay? That's what you do with people, okay? That's how you start to understand energy more, because you're always going inwards, you're always thinking, this is the, you know, you're not just listening to what everyone else is saying and just be like, yeah, like some sheep just following everyone, yeah, that's the way, it's like, actually, listening is a real art, okay? And, you know, you can be in conversations with certain people and they're trying to answer you before you've even asked a question, before you said anything, they're trying to come with a reply. When you actually are a good listener and you actually sit there and, you know, some people will say something to me and I'm like that, and they're like, hey, listen to what I'm saying, but I'm like, yeah, I'm listening, but I'm just processing what they're saying and I'm waiting, I'm actually thinking to come back with a reply. I'm not just waiting to jump in every time you're talking, because that's not a conversation, is it? Conversation is two people thinking about each other and blending the energy together and synchronizing and, you know, helping each other out in which way, healing whatever you need to do with that person, okay? So, you know, going back into this day and age now, so, you know, we have to get up, we have to work, we have to pay taxes, have to do all these things, you know, saying the world's in debt, all these countries are in debt. To who? Who are in debt to? I'd love to see this person, whoever owe all this money to, these trillions and billions of pounds each country, but when the government or someone needs to, oh, they just print money out of thin air. Yeah, everyone's in debt. Countries are in debt. I like to get this guy and to say to him, look, can you just release all this debt, right, into some poverty areas around the world, because you could cure world starvation today if you wanted to. So just, what you going to do? Take it all to the graveyard, like line your grave like that, for all your money. It's like, I just give it out to everyone. I don't understand these people. They're just mad. They're mad, but we're all a bit mad, aren't we? So, but at least some of them are mad. At least some of us are mad, but we think with our heart. So, you know, we could start going into blame. You know, we could start to blame people. A lot of people like to do this. You know, they just like to blame the government sort of time, or blame this person or blame that person. You know, and when we're all one, the best thing that you can do is lead by example. Yeah, if you want to see more truth, or you want to see more honour, or you want to see more respect, you need to just start being all these things, because that's the best that you can do. You can shout and blame and this person there and that and this other, but you're just wasting your energy, okay? Instead of shouting all that about them people, if you've got two people around you, or you're interacting with people, I think the best thing that you can do in your human form is lead by example. you know, through our lives, some of us haven't had an easy life, okay? And we want to blame people for the pain that they've caused us, or we want to blame people for the betrayal, or we want to blame people, you know, for the hurt or the suffering or the dark times. If you're going to blame people for all these things, you better blame them for all the strength that you've gained from, and all these lessons and all these blessings and all these things that develop your character into this warrior that you've become. Yeah? Because without all them hard times and all that shit everyone's give you, sorry for swearing, then how would you know what the light is? You have to experience the dark to know what the light is, to get that strength, okay, and to know your connection. We've talked about this through the dark night of the soul, so I am very, very happy for them times. I can look back now and smile and just be like, thank you very much. Yeah. So we've come to a time now on this earth where, okay, Mother Earth is going through her awakening. Yeah, she's going through her awakening now, and for thousands of years, you know, she has been absorbing the energy from humans, because energy has to go somewhere. Okay, energy just doesn't just flow. Obviously this energy transformation, things like that, but all this energy has to go somewhere. So as your mother would do, as your mother would do if you was a child, she would absorb your energy when you're kicking or you're screaming or you're blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so it's the same as this, but now the earth now is coming to the end. This is why it's called the end times. It's coming to the end of this birth, okay, of consciousness, okay? It's coming to the end of this birth of consciousness, and the contractions are starting now. You know, they've been slowly going over the last 100 years, you know, contractions, earthquakes, tsunamis, volcanoes, you know. This is the way that the earth is showing humanity signs that she's awakening, okay? But now these contractions are getting closer and closer and frequently, more frequently, okay? So the birth, she's ready to give birth to this new earth right now, okay? This is what she's showing. This is what she's showing us humans. She's saying, look, you need to wake up right now, because I am showing you signs, okay? And you know, do you think we could just come onto this earth with this free will and this beautiful earth, how wonderful she is and how beautiful and what a miracle that this life itself is, without her having a defense mechanism and thinking when the consciousness starts to go too low, I'm going to show humanity signs. So what is happening? So all over the country, you know, different things are happening, earthquakes, volcanoes, people are losing their lives, okay? But you never really die, so people are returning back to source and maybe come back to earth or whatever they want to choose to do when they pass on, okay? They want to carry this work on for their family on this earth. And, you know, so what's happening now? Countries are after being rebuilt, okay? We're having to rebuild schools, rebuild hospitals, rebuild all these things. So all this outturnal knowing of everyone looking out here, and you know, now we're having to go back into ourselves, okay, and say, no, we're going back to survival now as a species. We need to survive. So, you know, we're picking each other up, we're pulling each other up out of the water from these volcanoes, from these earthquakes, we're building houses, people are getting moved, thousands of people are getting over different countries and things like that, you know. And, you know, people what are moan about immigration and things like that, when your people's houses and stuff, they're getting bombed. If Manchester was getting absolutely battered and bruised and bombed, then you would want to go move somewhere else with your children. With your children, okay? Because we are one race and we need to look after each other. I said it before, as long as you've got food on your table, a roof over your head, people around you that you love and love you, that you are richer than about 90% of the people on this planet. Yeah? So, you know, these times now, we've got extraterrestrials in the sky showing us signs, doing work from up there, showing the human race, saying, come on, you can do it, you know. But they can't do it for us, okay? They can't do it for us. It's like, It's like, imagine we go like to a 5-year-old. All right, there's some car keys. You just get in your car and you'll be, you know, you can't even reach the pedals, but you can't even see over the steering wheel, but just get in your car, you'll be sweet. Get on the road. Even if they probably won't be able to drive it, but they're gonna crash, aren't they? Okay, so this is the same as this. If you imagine that, you know, the other cars are the extraterrestrials, they are guiding us which way to go, okay? And, you know, God is the driving instructor. He's gonna guide us through this, because if we don't go through the process and learn and start to clean this planet up together, we need to learn our lessons to the stuff and the mess that we've done and we've created. We need to clean our own mess back up, because then that's how we evolve. Yeah, that's how we come together and start to work as one to, you know, end wars, end, you know, all the litter that's getting thrown in the sea with the animals, all the pillage, the paedophilia, the sex trafficking, all these things, this dark energy, you know, which is getting nowhere to live now, because it's, you know, people are waking up, so more people are speaking out about things. If they see things, people are speaking out, and these things are being brought to light now, so all this is getting squeezed out. So if you notice, you know, you'll see you know, these false flag operations now, what the higher powers are putting in, okay, they are now panicking and making mistakes. Yeah, they're making mistakes, and people are onto them. People are onto these things, what they are doing, so they are panicking, and this darkness has got nowhere to live, so it's squeezing out in different parts of the earth. You hear like people running to schools, mass shootings and things like that, and things happening, yeah, and that is the darkness panicking and squeezing out, okay, and squeezing because it's panicking, it's got nothing to feed off now, okay. So if you imagine a rat or a snake that's getting suffocated, and its last few breaths, it's gonna go rah. But this is why we are awakening, and this is why we've come to return. The return to one heart, the return to God, back within, the remembrance to who we are, okay? Coming from the love of power to the power of love, yeah? And going back to trusting ourselves, yeah? Because that is such strength. You can trust yourself, and you don't need anyone else's opinions or anything like that. You've got your own brain, your own mind, your own infinite, powerful being. You are powerful. You are divine. You are a creator. Okay, so you go with your internal knowing. The mind, okay, the mind is just so we can have this human experience. Okay, the soul is infinite. Okay, the mind will see both sides of and doubt and fear, and things will creep into the mind, because that's the way it's designed. That's what you call a closed mind. When your mind is open, you see everything for what it really is. Okay, so let me talk about being in your essence. Being in your essence is being connected all the time from your heart. Okay, and when you come from your mind, it's being connected to your feelings. Yeah. How do you feel when someone's saying these things? Not what do you think, because your thinking is that jumping in, your thinking is that wanting to jump in. When people are talking, or when you're hearing things, feel what they are saying, because everything is a frequency, and the truth is a frequency, and you can tell by people's eyes, okay, when they are telling the truth. You can tell, just looking at it, I've got like a little extraterrestrial thing going on over here. I don't know if you can see it. I can't zoom in. Random truth. But you think, whoa, what's he doing here? Can you see it? Right, so when you go from your mind, I'll just keep talking until it pops through the trees. When you go from your mind into your soul is infinite, and that's where the truth is. There it is. Can you see it on there? Can't even see it. Never mind. There'll be plenty about. They're always getting about doing a little work. Let's give them a wave anyway. Right, so where was he up to? I was getting into it then, wasn't I? Yeah, I was getting into being in your essence. So being in your essence, okay, is being connected all the time and thinking with your heart and going with your feelings, okay? We are a soul having a human experience. We're not a human having a human experience. That's why people have got so attached to this physical thing and calendars and dates and all these things. If you look, I'm going to tell them, I'm going over here, but I'm just going to tell you another story. If you look at the Irish, okay, and they used to just plant their potatoes in season, yeah, wait for them to grow, drink, party all the time, just party all the way through, wait for them potatoes to come up, and then boom, eat them, yeah, and just stack them up and save them for the rest of the year. And that's all they used to do. Now, talking about stress and anxiety at the start of this, excuse me, just had my dinner. So, the reason why stress and anxiety is so much in this day's society is because everyone's trying to live in other people's ideals, and they're trying to keep up with these trends, whatever these trends are. You know, they're in a rush to get nowhere fast. You know, they're working jobs that are killing them, and you know, just to live this lavish lifestyle and trying to keep up with whoever. You know, not everyone, but I'm just saying, when you slow down and you're just like, this is my lane, I'm just staying in this lane. Yeah, this is where the stress and anxiety comes from. Anxiety is it's, do you know what? Since I've been doing, but I've always knew it anyway, more and more yoga, okay? And you're connecting that breath. That breath is our living, fourth dimensional breath from the tree of life. It's connecting the mind with the body, okay? And when you're stressed and your breathing's off and you're anxious, and you just come back to that breath, that beingness, that just observing. Now, it matters. As long as you are breathing, you are living. Okay, don't get me wrong. You still gotta make money. You still gotta go to work. You're still probably gonna fall over and stub your toe. You know, you're still gonna probably get rained on and sitting somewhere soaking wet. It's just life, innit? It's just life, but it's beautiful. Someone coming over with a dog. So just trust yourself. Go with your feelings, because that's all that really matters. Yeah? Don't matter what no one else thinks, it matters what you know. Yeah, it matters going with your feelings and your intuition and your internal sat-nav, okay? I'm gonna go with, you have 3 sets of balls, okay? And believing is seeing, okay? And you have 3 sets. Your eyes, are you alright, love?
Yeah, are you alright?
I'm just doing a quick video, yeah?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm recording. Alright, it's alright, love, don't worry about it. Hope you're good anyway. Have a nice time with your dog. And what did I say then? Yeah, so you've got 3 sets of balls which you need to use. Believing is seeing. Okay? So watch with these. I'm going to include the third in that as well. Watch with these, the windows of the soul, because you know by people's eyes exactly who they are. And I'm going to attach these balls as well, female and male, because we've got both energies. You've got our balls because this journey is going to get bumpy, okay? And stay on the balls of your feet. because these are your roots and this is what will nourish your soul, okay? Trust yourself, go on half an hour. Peace.